Hello, hi, and welcome. If you're new here, my name is Sarah, and this is Wicked Reading. So today's video is going to be a little bit different for me, and it's going to be very casual. And I apologize now if it sounds echoey, but I wanted to sit here. It's going to be a chatty video. I'm going to sit here. I have some plants that I have to repot out of the big box store soil into my own soil. I have 2 plants here that I want to repot really quick. So that's part of my June reset, I guess, is repotting those plants. And I want to talk to you guys about my June plans, my reading plans, my life plans. Then I'm going to pick out some books that I plan to read or hope to read for June, and we'll talk about those. And I'm going to journal as well too and get my June spread set up. So this is kind of like a chatty June reset TBR journaling video. So hopefully you guys are into it. So I'm going to start repotting my plants. I have my handy dandy, very dirty mat here, and I have my 2 plants that I want to repot because I don't like the soil that they come in. It's very like compact and almost spongy. I don't like the soil that they're in right now. I actually mixed my own soil together with a bunch of different components, so I'm going to switch the soils out. Anyways, so for June, it is going to be an extremely busy month for me. So very exciting plans on the horizon. Actually, within the next couple of days, me and my husband will officially be homeowners, and we are so excited. For the people that are new here, me and my husband have been searching for a house for over a year. It has been not a fun experience, to say the least, but we have been in contract for a house for the last month or so, and it's officially going to be closing this week, and we are so excited. So my June is going to be very busy because it's going to be filled with packing and moving and unpacking, and also I have a New York trip planned with my aunt in the midst of this. So yeah, it's gonna be a very, very busy month. So I have been trying to pre-film a lot of stuff for you guys, so hopefully I will still have a full schedule going into June, but it will all be videos that I have already filmed. I have 2 more videos that I am hoping to film either today or within the next weekend, because yeah, this weekend actually we're gonna start moving, so I might have to wake up nice and early, get a video filmed, and then we're heading to the new house to clean it. So that's some very exciting life stuff going on. I'll fill you guys in on some video plans coming up. I did already film a free little library vlog. It was a nice day a couple weekends ago, and I decided to just start filming while I went to some free little libraries. So that'll be coming out. And then I also filmed a video of my current NetGalley shelf. So there's a couple sneak peeks for you. I have other videos that I plan to, but there's a little sneak peek for you on what to expect in June. Since I'm gonna go to New York, I think I might do a quick little vlog for that. So probably won't be very book related at all. I do plan on going to the public library in New York City and definitely going to a couple bookstores, so there'll be that, but I won't be like reading very much. All right, I got most, if not all, of that soil off of these roots. It's just like such a, I don't know, it's so fluffy, and I just feel like it holds on, it feels moist, and I have not actually watered this plant for a couple weeks. It's kind of struggling a little bit right now, but like I don't like this soil. I feel like it holds on too much moisture. So the soil mix I make is it's got a lot of loose big parts in it, so it's very well draining. Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna do a New York vlog, maybe. No promises on that because I feel like I'm gonna be overwhelmed already. I've never been to New York, and I get very easily overstimulated, even in just like a grocery store. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel in New York, to be totally honest. I'm going with my aunt, and she's gone before, so she's really taken the ropes on everything. I just told her I want to at least go to a bookstore and the library and like Chinatown, and like that's kind of all I got. I don't really know what else to expect. So I may or may not have a vlog for that. If I do, it probably won't be very long because yeah, I think I'm just gonna be focused on surviving and not getting too overwhelmed most of the time, but we'll see. So I do plan on going to New York. I'm gonna be there, I want to say 4 days. I don't quite remember right now, but I think 4 days. It's not like a long trip. I think the flight is only like maybe 2 hours or so. So that being said, I will probably heavily rely on my Kindle for reading, not only because of traveling, but also because of the fact I'm going to have all my books packed up, and I have to do the library in the new house before I can really, unload all of my books and have them all nice on shelves. I have plans for the library in that house to have shelves pretty much built into the wall, kind of. There's already like a really nice cubby cutout, and I'm gonna, work on that with my husband to make it a nice shelving unit. So it's gonna be a little while before my library is good to go in the new house, which will also, of course, have a vlog of that process, but it's gonna be a while. It's probably gonna be like 2 months. I'm hoping it's not that long, but I'm trying to, check my expectations and telling myself it's gonna be 2 months, but honestly, that's like my priority for the house. So I'm only gonna pick out a few physical reads, and I'm gonna pick out some chunky ones, and hopefully those hold me over, because I don't wanna keep a lot of books out. Also, I'm gonna rely a lot on audiobooks, because that will be kind of the best option for while I'm unpacking a lot of stuff, and packing a lot of stuff, but unpacking mostly, because we're pretty packed up. We still have some packing to do, but we did a lot yesterday, and we're gonna do a lot tonight. Audiobooks will be the way to go during those moments, but I don't really know what I'm gonna listen to yet. If you guys have any recommendations of audiobooks that are very easy listening, like you don't need to pay that much attention, easy listening, entertaining, please leave them down below. I'm even willing to listen to some thrillers for this time being, because I'm kind of at a loss of what to even request for my Libby app. I do have one Audible credit right now too, just sitting there because I'm too scared to use it on something I don't like. I do have some audiobooks on hold right now on my Libby app, which we'll talk about later when we talk about the books, because I honestly don't know off the top of my head, so I have to look at my app. So major life things going on in June. Big move. We're super excited. It's our first home, and it's been a very long process, a very heartbreaking process, a very exhausting process, but so well worth it. We are so excited to be in this house. We both absolutely love it, and we just cannot wait to make it a home. It's gonna be great. We're so excited. So big life things, moving into our first home, gonna go to New York for a little bit, and yeah, so those are the big life plans. My plants are officially in their new soil. Yay. I have not watered them in a little bit because I've been waiting to put them in the new soil before I water them, so it's been a couple weeks. So these guys are probably pretty thirsty. So I'm gonna go water them. I'm going to clean up the mess that I made, and then I'm gonna go pick out some books, start my journal, and then I'll be back to talk about what I did and all of that. So talk to you guys in a little bit.
another nerdy bookish video.
Okay, so I have all of my physical books picked out, so let's talk about them. So I did not pick out that many because, like I said, my reading is really going to be limited, especially so with physical reads. But I did grab some chunky ones, so in case I happen to be able to get through them a decent amount, I have like chunky ones to hold me over still. So honestly, I will probably only maybe read 3 of these. The 4th one is truly wishful thinking. First and foremost, A Fate Inked in Blood. I already started this book, so I have to finish it. I'm like a quarter of the way in, so this will absolutely be read. This is my current read. So this is just rolling over into June since I started it in May. And then I thought maybe I would jump back into The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This is one that I did softy enough. I got up to page 61. I just like was not getting into it at that time, but I'm currently in a big fantasy romance kick, so I think I might jump back into this one. I will probably just carry on where I left off. It's only been a couple months and I do remember everything that happened. It was really just the setup for the story. So, oh, I didn't tell you guys what A Fate Inked in Blood is. This is pretty much just a Viking fantasy romance, and that's all I know so far, really. So there's that. This is a fantasy romance with vampire and like a competition. So far the only thing I've read is the setup for the competition, and our main character, I don't remember her name, but she is within the competition, just started it, spent like one night in the competition, and that's kind of where I left off. I might jump back into this. And then one that I really want to get to is Magnolia Parks: A Long Way Home. This is the 3rd book in the Magnolia Parks universe, but the 2nd book specifically for Magnolia Parks. I loved the 1st book so much. It was in my top books of 2023. Yeah, 2023. Did not like the 2nd one, did not like Daisy Hates at all. So I've been putting this one off, but I do think this will be good again because I feel like the author just writes Magnolia better than she writes Daisy. So I'm hoping that this one is just as good as the 1st one was. It is so long though, and I know the 4th one just came out, and I think that one's over 700 pages, which is like crazy to me. But this one is over 500 pages, so this one is pretty thick too. This is also part of my 24 for 24, so it'll be helping me out with that goal. So I do really want to get to this one. If you don't know what Magnolia Parks is, it is pretty much just a toxic romance, Chuck and Blair, but in the UK. And we are following Magnolia Parks, which is just like the it girl, and her on again, off again relationship with this guy named BJ. And they're just very toxic and it's very dramatic. But the 1st one was so beautifully written and it had me in tears. And I'm hoping to get all of the feelings that I got in the 1st one out of this one. And then this last one is a little bit delusional. I don't think that I will get to this one because I don't even know if I'm going to get through all 3 of those. But I do really want to get to this one. And if I don't get to it in June, I will probably roll it into my July TBR. And that is Last Days by Adam Neville. This is another chunky one. And this is a horror. So this book follows a documentary crew, which I'm super into that element at this moment. I've been eating up all of the found footage / documentary crew / ghost hunter crew books that I can recently. But this one we follow a documentary crew that is trying to make a film surrounding this cult. And that's all I know about it. That's all I need to know about it. I'm really excited for this one. I just, for some reason, it's giving me summer vibes. Whether I get to it this month or not, it will be read relatively soon. So that's all I picked for my physical TBR, but I'm gonna go on my phone and open my Libby app because I'm gonna see what audiobooks I have or will maybe have within June, because those will most likely all be listened to. Like I said earlier, if you have any recommendations for easy listening audiobooks, please let me know. So I currently have Ling Hung by A. Jiang available to me, which will definitely be listened to, but it is a very short one. It is only 5 hours, and I actually think it's less than that because I'm pretty sure I heard that some of the book actually goes into other short stories or something like that. Like the initial story isn't the only thing actually bound up in the book, but I'm not really sure. But either way, 5 hours, that's not very long at all. But this is a grief horror surrounding supernatural stuff. I'm not totally sure. I've heard a little bit here and there, but since it is so short, I'm just kind of going into it. But I've heard really great things. I don't know how much I'm feeling in the mood for grief horror, but I am still going to listen to it. Katrina Brown has it picked as her May book club pick for her Reaper book club, so I'm a little bit late. But luckily the live show is actually a little bit into June, so I will be able to finish this by the time the live show discussion happens. So I am listening to it for her book club. So then I also have Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. This is like a space horror where the crew goes out to space and there's like a researcher on the crew that is researching this disease that is believed that people stuck in space get. And there was this incident where they believe somebody had that disease and then ended up killing their whole crew or something like that. Anyways, and then they're on this new voyage and sketchy stuff starts going on. I don't really know what to expect. I've heard very mixed things about this. I do actually have it on my NetGalley shelf, so it'll be nice to listen to the audiobook and be able to do my review on NetGalley and have that checked off. So this will definitely be listened to as well. I think it should be an easy listening one. So hopefully it is. I do have a couple of holds that I should also have in June as well. So I have The Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. This is a YA witchy book. I don't really know the full plot or the setup, to be totally honest. Last year I listened to House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland and I loved that. So I'm really excited for her new release. Libby app says it'll be about 2 weeks until I get it. I am the first one in line, so I should definitely get that by June. And really that's kind of all I have for my Libby holds. I do also have Butcher and Blackburn by Bryn Weaver and The Love Hypothesis by Ellie Hazelwood all on hold, but they do technically say 4 weeks plus. Love Hypothesis is actually a several months wait, so they might end up becoming available to me if somebody decides to skip their hold or something like that, but I'm not holding my breath on those ones. So then going into my Kindle app, it is a goal of mine to read at least 1 KU book a month, so I definitely need to read one at least, and I will probably try to read my Kindle during my New York trip so I don't have to like carry a book with me. So I don't really know what I'm gonna read on it. I'm kind of really leaning towards When the Moon Hatched. Who is this by? By Sarah A. Parker. I honestly don't really know what this is about. I know it's fantasy and I know there's dragons. That's all I know. I'm not even gonna bother reading the synopsis because I will forget it anyways, but I've heard such great things. The cover is really pretty. I really like the cover. So I do have that one available to me. I do have Paradise Club by Tim Meyer. This was on my summer TBR last year and I never read it. This one is a slasher, but it takes place at this resort where the guests go and they are now unknowingly participants in this like competition between serial killers slash slashers, and they're set to like kill the most people or something like that. But it sounds like a fun, goofy time, so I might read that one. But I'm not really going to set in stone my Kindle book, but I am kind of leaning towards maybe those two. Or I do have Taste Like Candy by Ivy Tholen, which I really need to get to because it was on my May TBR. It's on my 24 for 24. It was on my summer TBR last year. It might have been even in a monthly TBR last year. It's been around the block a few times. It's been on a few TBRs. It is heavily considered a TBR vet at this point. So I could read that one, but I almost don't even want to say that I'll read it because clearly I've done it a few times and not read it, but I do have that one. So I have options for my Kindle book. Those are the ones I'm kind of leaning towards, but I'll see what kind of mood I'm in when it's actually time to read from my Kindle. So yeah. that's it for my reading plans, but they're very loose. Do not hold me to any of these except of Fate Inked in Blood. That is the only one I can guarantee you that I will read, but I'm really excited still. It's probably not gonna be the best reading month for me, but so many other exciting things are happening, so I'm not even that worried about it. I'm making this month all about fun reading. When I want to read, I will read. I will not push myself to read. May, obviously, with Escape the Readathon was pretty chaotic, and I definitely pushed myself to read a lot more than I typically do. And this month, I just want to relax, read when I want to, enjoy what I'm reading, all of that. So I didn't talk about my reading journal, but I really love the way it turned out. I've been really into the bug aesthetic. If you're not new here, you know that because I keep bringing up bug stuff, but I've been really into the bug aesthetic. That is going to be everything for today's video. If you made it to this point, leave me a bug emoji down below, a beetle, a worm, whatever, any type of bug emoji. As always, thank you so much for spending some of your time with me while I sit down and talk about books and life and do my reading journal. If you haven't yet, please give the video a like, subscribe for future content, turn on the bell notification, all the fun YouTube things that help your girl out, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!